Warning: the following video contains personal opinions and may contain potential bias. Anyone sensitive to someone else's opinion may want to turn away now. But thanks for watching anyways. Now, if you're an old school Pokemon fan, or at least someone who's played Red, Blue, and Yellow off the Nintendo eShop, it's no doubt that at some point you've had a friend tell you about interesting things you could do in-game, such as catch Mew, or get infinite rare candies, or interesting things that, while very helpful, don't seem like stuff that was intended by the programmers. These, my friends, are glitches. And glitches are actually pretty synonymous with the Pokemon franchise. Because, as amazing as these games are, throughout the generations there always seems to be these little quirks or weird things that show up within these games that just slip by and become either really fun to exploit for various dubious reasons, or it can be really destructive and in fact require a patch in some cases to avoid any unfortunate mishaps. And today, we'll be talking about the top 10 glitches in Pokemon games. Now normally for a list like this, I could easily do a top 5 best and worst. But when it comes to stuff like glitches, it's kind of subjective what you would consider the best, because do you consider best to be the most helpful ones or the most infamous? Because on the flip side, glitches that could be considered the worst could actually be some of the best just due to their infamy. So this list is going to be a combination of helpful glitches, destructive glitches, and just plain old infamous glitches. The whole shebang. The list is going to be scaled more in tune with its infamy as opposed to whether it's actually good for you or not. That being said, throughout this video we are going to be providing clips of how all of these glitches are done, thanks to a good friend of the Silver League Networks, Dragon Arbok, and also my own previous videos where I actually use some of these glitches to my advantage. And with that in mind, the Silver League Networks is not responsible for anything that happens if you try these glitches at home. Some of these glitches can destroy your save files. It can corrupt the data and force you to completely restart, as some of them can cause permanent damage, so just be careful. That being said, let's hop to it. So welcome everyone to the Silver League's top 10 Pokemon glitches. Number 10. The coin case glitch from Gen 2. Now, I only learned about this glitch pretty recently, so I'm not sure how infamous it is among the general Pokemon fandom, but nevertheless, I found it pretty interesting, if only for the side effects that it has in Gold version. For this glitch, you're going to need at some point have encountered a Machop, and of course, as per the title, have the coin case. To activate this glitch, you go to the Pokédex, select Machop and hear its cry, then go back and select your items, and then select the coin case. Your game will restart by itself, look a little weird, and then when you go to the title screen, you'll notice that silhouette of Ho-Oh is actually a fully detailed colored sprite. Unfortunately for Silver, the Lugia is still a silhouette. Kind of sucks, but it does raise the question, why is it a fully detailed sprite? I'm not sure, it's a completely useless cosmetic glitch that just makes your game look very weird, but it's nevertheless interesting, if only because it unveils a Ho-Oh sprite that was kind of lost behind a silhouette that's very questionable why it's there in the first place. I mean, it's not like its design was a mystery to anyone. It's on the cover of the cartridge, for Pete's sake. Number 9. The Focus Energy glitch from Gen 1. Now this is easily the safest glitch to perform on the entire list, but it's also amusingly the most useless, because back in the day, critical hits were determined by your speed stat. The faster you were, the bigger chance you had of landing a critical hit. It was weird, but that's just how it was back in the day. Factor in a move like Slash or Razor Leaf, which had a high critical hit ratio, and suddenly you just had Pokemon that always landed critical hits. They would almost never not land a critical hit, unless you factored in the move Focus Energy. Focus Energy was a move that was supposed to quadruple your chances of landing a critical hit. However, for whatever reason, it would actually divide your chances of landing a critical hit by 4, which meant that Pokemon who would otherwise always land a critical hit could actually stop landing them, and it was the most useless thing ever. Clearly, this move had to have been designed to increase the chances of those critical hits for the Pokemon who are otherwise too slow to ever land one to begin with. But it would actually do the opposite, and it's just so weird and it's so useless. It is a glitch that actually was corrected in Pokemon Stadium, but for the core Pokemon games, yeah, it was a really useless move then, and honestly even now it's kind of useless. But hey, it had its purpose back then, even though it completely missed the mark. Number 8, number 8, number 8, number 8. The Infinite Pokeball glitch from Pokemon Colosseum. Now, while the last glitch was completely useless, this one is downright broken, and one that I abused the heck out of in my Let's Play of Pokemon Colosseum. And it's a pretty simple glitch to execute as well. Every battle in Colosseum is a double battle, so when you encounter a Shadow Pokemon that you need to capture, go to your items with the first Pokemon that you have control of, and select the Pokeball that you want to use. Basically the Master Ball once you get your hands on one. And then, with the second Pokemon that you command, go to your items again, and change the item slot that the Pokeball that you were using was on. In this case, the Master Ball once again. And then attack like normal. You will throw the Pokeball, capture the Pokemon, because again, we're using the Master Ball here, and when you go to check your items, you will see that the Pokeball is still there, like you never used it. It's an interesting quirk that really, truly breaks the game once you get the Master Ball. It just makes the final gauntlet of the game an absolute joke. It really is going against the intentions of the game, but you know what? I can't deny how fun it is to actually use this glitch. It made things so much easier after the headaches that you will go through, especially in Colosseum. It's a glitch that they wisely fixed in Pokemon XD, but nevertheless, it was a fun little mishap in Pokemon Colosseum that really makes it stand out to a lot of people, just because you were already struggling to balance money between Pokeballs and healing items in that game, and being able to duplicate all the Pokeballs just made things so much easier. And before anyone gets ahead of themselves, this glitch only works for Pokeballs. Items did not have the same luxury, because you weren't able to change the item slots around between, Pokemon turns. It didn't work like that. So, sorry about that, but nevertheless, free Master Balls. It was amazing. Number 7. The Shiny Shadow Pokemon bug from Pokemon Colosseum. Oh, Pokemon Colosseum. You gave us easily one of the most handy glitches I have ever seen accidentally slip their way into a Pokemon game, and at the same time, you give us one of the most heartbreaking. If you by some miracle encountered a shiny Shadow Pokemon in Colosseum and managed to capture it, chances are you may not want to purify it ever, because if you do, you're basically rerolling the dice, and chances are, when it's purified, it'll no longer be shiny. Due to a bug in the coding, this can happen. It's confusing, it has to do with trainer IDs and stuff like that, but the point is, this is really, really heartbreaking, and I would not be surprised if it's led to people suffer setting, purifying their shiny Shadow Pokemon over and over and over again, just so it can retain that shine, or even just hacking the shiny back onto them out of spite. Because that's just mean. That's just really, really mean. And how did Pokemon XD address this? Well, in Pokemon XD, you can't encounter shiny Pokemon, period. So, while they would fix the Infinite Pokeball glitch, they just took shiny Pokemon out of the game entirely. That's... what? No! Was it a programming issue? It had to be, but still, that's just absolutely tragic. And the only reason why I put this glitch above the Infinite Pokeball glitch is just because I feel this one deserves to be recognized for the infamy of how much heartbreak any of us would feel in that situation. That excitement that you encountered a shiny Shadow Pokemon, and then when you went to go purify that Pokemon that no doubt you were using throughout your adventure because, oh my god, it's a shiny, and it lost it. That... I don't want to think about that. But I do. And I feel so sorry for anyone who's experienced that. I will promise a hug to anyone who has lost a shiny Pokemon due to purification. Number 6. The Phantom Save File glitch from my copy of Pokemon Fire Red. Okay, that warning at the beginning of this video, yeah, that's going into full effect here because this is a tale that I've been meaning to tell for a long time. I haven't had the chance, and this video seems like a better place than ever to finally see if anyone has experienced this glitch before because it's weird, it's kind of spooky, and I just want to know I'm not alone here. Maybe no one else has experienced it, but I don't care. This one's for me. So here's the story. On my quest to get every single Pokemon game that ever had an English release, a good friend of mine, who you might know from the Silver League, Diogo, was generously willing to donate his copy of Fire Red to me. Now his copy was the European release, which makes no difference since the GBA was not region locked, meaning that I could pop it into my GBAs and it would work no problem. It's just the labels were different, but that's just a minor detail. So it arrived in the mail. I was very happy, very excited, because it was the last game I needed to complete my Gen 3 game collection. I was thrilled. I popped it into my GBA, and strangely enough, it didn't have a save file. That doesn't seem quite right. Save files didn't magically erase off GBA cartridges, right? I mean, it's not like Gold and Silver where it was dependent on the battery. So that was kind of weird, but whatever. I made a save file, Silver, yes, I'm a boy, Professor Oak, and then saved. And then I turned off the game. I went to turn it back on, and it made a horrifying screech. It was pretty weird, kind of spooky, but I turned it off, blew into the cartridge, popped it back in, but it wasn't my save file anymore. It was May, M-A-E-Y, who had a playtime of 9 hours and 55 minutes, a Pokedex of only 9 Pokemon, and 3 badges. I don't know how this happened, because I made a save file. I created Silver, and then it was overwritten by a save file that might have been there previously? I talked to Diogo, and this might have been one of his relatives' save files, but he's not quite sure. And it's just weird and spooky. Because we have a level 24 Pidgeotto, 33 Venusaur, 21 Diglett, 21 male Diglett, 11 Pikachu, level 17 Spearow, and in the party, we have a Geodude. A level 23 Geodude. I don't know what to make of this. Maybe it remembered that there was a save file on here, but why did it overwrite my save file? Who is this May? What does any of this mean? I don't get it. It's a spooky, weird glitch. And I just want answers. And if any of you know how this happened, let me know, because otherwise, God, this is a weird glitch. Number 5. The Lumiose City Save Glitch from Generation 6. Now this is the most recent glitch to make its way onto the list, and I'm putting it where it is if only for the infamy involved with it. It's one of the few times that Nintendo would publicly acknowledge a glitch in the game and even provide diagrams detailing where not to save your game lest you want to risk your save no longer functioning properly, stuff not loading, and generally being in a situation where you might actually have to restart your game entirely. Regardless of how far you were in the adventure, if you saved in Lumiose City, in these areas at least, there was a chance that, well, when you turn your game back on, it may not work properly, if at all. And as much as it pains me to say this, the patch to fix this glitch is, technically speaking, the only DLC we ever truly got for the Gen 6 core Pokemon games. Gift legendaries to me don't count as DLC because technically they're just generating the Pokemon into your game. This was something they actually added. You have to download this patch if you want to be able to access the online functionality. It's Oh, it's so painful that this is the only real DLC we ever got. And it's a patch to a glitch that could permanently destroy your save file. It just makes me rage at the thought that the patch proves they could have done DLC. They could have! But instead, they used it to fix bugs in the programming. Which I guess is the responsible thing to do, but still, it's such a painful missed opportunity. But hey, it's good to see that even in the modern era, there are still glitches that can earn some notoriety. Number 4. Glitch City from Gen 1. Now this glitch doesn't really do anything, but just the notoriety surrounding it far surpasses any usefulness it might have needed to retain its popularity over the years. Now to achieve this glitch, go to the Safari Zone and pay your entry fee, and then as soon as you enter the Safari Zone, try to exit. The guy will ask if you're leaving early, say no, and go back into the Safari Zone. Save your game and reset it. Now when you start your game again, exit the Safari Zone again, and the game will act like you've just entered the Safari building. Don't pay your entry fee and leave the building like normal. Now, just go anywhere. Try to avoid cities, just walk along any route, go up and down paths over and over again until it says your time is up. You will be warped back to the Safari Zone building where you can leave like normal, and now when you leave, the entire city is a giant gargled mess of glitches, thus Glitch City. As you see, everything is just a mess of code and random objects and tiles. You can cut a bush, but it's not going to actually be cut. You can get yourself stuck, and there's no way to get out of here unless you can fly. Again, the glitch does absolutely nothing. However, in yellow version, there's an interesting little side note. If you enter the fabled Glitch City, Pikachu will hate you for some reason. Were they aware of Glitch City and Pikachu is their reflection of you tinkering with the game and doing things you probably shouldn't be? I don't know, but the idea of Pikachu getting mad at you for glitching out the game is kind of amusing. Number 3. Cloning. Oh, cloning. You're just as synonymous with the franchise as glitches themselves. Every generation, practically, has had their own variants of the cloning glitch. And heck, amusingly enough, clones were a plot point in the first Pokemon movie, whether that was intentional or not, I can't really tell. It had to do with Mew and Mewtwo being a clone. It's kind of a weird coincidence. Now, cloning in Gen 4 is something of infamy and a lot of scrutiny and a lot of moral ambiguity. But one of my personal favorite variants of the cloning glitch has to be Gen 2's, just because the Gen 2 cloning glitch was a way for you, the player, to actually get all 3 Johto starters before your journey even began. You could be Ash Ketchum and have all 3 Johto starters in your party, and all you had to do was glitch the fudge out of your game. Now, achieving this glitch is relatively simple. At the start of your adventure, save in front of Professor Elm before you get your first Pokemon. Select your first Pokemon, and do the delivery quest he sends you on. Battle Silver, get your Pokedex, get your Pokeballs, and from there, capture 2 Pokemon. The first PC you can access is on the next town over, so when you have 3 Pokemon in your party, one of them being your starter, go to your PC, deposit your starter, and one of the 2 Pokemon that you captured. In Gen 1 and Gen 2, when you wanted to change your deposit boxes, you had to save your game. This is where the glitch comes into play. When you change to any other box, as soon as it says, now saving, quickly turn off your game and turn it back on. If you did things correctly, you will end up in front of Professor Elm before you got your first Pokemon. From there, pick the second starter that you want, and just go straight over to the next town over where you gained access to the first PC in the game. Look into your PC, and if done correctly, you should see the first starter that you chose along with the second Pokemon that you captured. Simply swap your starter for the second Pokemon in the box, and now just change boxes, save, quickly turn off your game, and if done correctly, The other two starters should be waiting comfy and cozy in your PC, and you can use all three throughout your adventure. This is a cloning glitch that could be used later on in the journey at any point you wanted, just to create duplicates of Pokemon, or for more handy purposes, it's an easy way to also duplicate items. You can duplicate leftovers, berries, anything that the Pokemon can actually hold on to. It works. It's handy, it's a good little trick, and it's my personal favorite variant of the cloning glitch. Yeah, it's technically not ethical, and in many ways it is cheating, and I especially consider it cheating in any game post Gen 2 where you can actually migrate these Pokemon into the current games and use them competitively. But for Gen 2, it's good old random fun, and hey, you have to do surgery to salvage those games just so you can save on them again, so what's wrong with a little bit of fun with the glitches here and there, right? Number 2. The Mew glitch from Gen 1. Now this is a glitch that got people talking, whispering in the playground of that one kid who has Mew, who got it without a Game Shark, who legitimately caught a Mew, who knows the trick to get the truest, rarest Pokemon, and it didn't involve any sort of trucks. It just required some kid with a Slowpoke, and your ability to either fly or teleport away from an eagle-eyed trainer who spotted you from the distance. Now there are multiple trainers you can use to pull off this glitch, but generally speaking, the easiest one to go with is the trainer in the grass west of the Nugget Bridge. Save your game before you encounter him, go one step down, and quickly hit the start menu. Either fly or teleport away back to Cerulean City. He will spot you wanting to start a battle, but you will have already flown away. Now you will temporarily not have access to the menu, so all you have to do is go up Nugget Bridge, go on Route 25, and battle the youngster who has Slowpoke. After you've beaten him, warp back to Cerulean City, and now head north, up Nugget Bridge. Suddenly, the pause menu will pop up on its own without you pushing in any sort of command. Simply exit the pause menu, a battle will be triggered, and suddenly, you have encountered Mew. Now the real trick behind this glitch is that the Slowpoke that you battled from that youngster has a special stat of 21. 21 in the special stat is the number that actually gets you Mew, because in reality, calling this the Mew glitch isn't really that fair, because this glitch effectively allows you to encounter any Pokemon in the game, but not just any Pokemon, but certain trainers. There's a whole list of special stat values that'll result in encountering different Pokemon or even trainers, one of these trainers being Professor Oak. Yeah, I'm not kidding. You see that? There is the infamous Professor Oak battle, which is another thing of speculation, rumor, and hush-hush in the playground. But really, everyone uses for Mew. Even now, everyone uses this for Mew. So that's why it gains the name of the Mew glitch, but really, you can call it the Professor Oak glitch, you can call it the encounter any Pokemon you want glitch. It's an interesting exploit that can easily be achieved with the use of Ditto. There's a lot of fun things you can do with this glitch, but really, it's for Mew. All the infamy is with this being the only way to really get Mew in Gen 1, which is going to kind of sap away a bit of its specialness when Gen 7 comes around and we can import Pokemon from Gen 1 games, which can have glitched Mews imported into it, which is going to raise the question, is a glitched Mew considered legitimate? Because you are technically encountering it, not fairly, but it is in the code in a weird, messed up, silly way. I'm not sure where to put it, but then again, are its stats going to be any good? Probably not, but we'll see. I mean, the fact that we can import Gen 1 Pokemon into a Gen 7 game is weird enough. But hey, Mew! Mew's for everyone! And a battle with Professor Oak. Huh. And the number one glitch in Pokemon is... Missing No from Gen 1. Okay, this is easily the most predictable number one I've ever had on any of these lists ever, but come on, this is the glitch. It is literally the personification of bugginess. It is a glitch that you can actually encounter, that you can catch. And also, coincidentally, throughout all of these videos, you've been seeing Dragon Arbok, well, using a glitch that she captured. Not Missing No, it's a different glitch, but Missing No is the most infamous and famous one of them all. But it does have multiple forms. There are multiple ways that you can encounter Missing No. It has different appearances based on different variables in your name. It's complicated, and you can even encounter it via the mute glitch, again, dependent on special stats. It's kind of confusing and weird, and there are whole pages dedicated to detailing how you can encounter Missing No, what Missing No can do. For those of you who don't know how to encounter Missing No, here's how it's done. Talk to the old man who gives you the tutorial on how to capture Pokemon. And then after that, fly to Cinnabar Island, swim up and down this body of water right next to where you would go back to normal land, and then if you're lucky, you will encounter Missing No. Again, the form it takes will depend on your name. There's a whole list of variables that can change what appearance it'll take, but if you're lucky, you'll encounter the classic backwards L Missing No, and it's not encouraged to catch it since catching it can lead to some weird funky business, but defeating a Missing No will duplicate the 6th item in your inventory by 128. It won't show up as 128 since item limit was 99, or at least I think the limit is 99. But once you use enough, it will show up as normal numbers. But even if you save your game, turn it off, those items are still there. You're still going to have 128, and you can just do this glitch over and over and over again. And it's a surefire way to duplicate all the rare candies you would ever need, all the other items you would ever need, all the TMs, all that good stuff. Again, there are multiple ways you can encounter Missing No. It has different forms. Dragon Arbok has taken the liberty to show all these different forms. And of course, there's the different variants of glitch boxes in general. In Pokemon Yellow, Missing No by default takes on a different shape. And also, I think in Pokemon Yellow, it's not as safe to use the Missing No glitch. But either way, Missing No is just infamous. It's that one glitch that, again, similar to Mew, was all the talk in the schoolyard. It was one of those things that was just weird. It was basically the 152nd Pokemon. If anything, you could say it's the number 0 Pokemon. It's not a Pokemon, but it's very interesting and fascinating, and just, it's a good representation of the glitchy, fun, classic retro Gen 1 days. Just, it's real silly. It's really weird. It's Missing No. It's bird normal type. It's amusing. And I'm not gonna lie, I've said this story before, I never had a Game Boy as a kid. So when I heard Missing No, I didn't know they were talking about Missing No as in missing an O, or missing number. I thought they were saying Missing Gnome. I thought this glitch was like some kind of weird elf gnome thingy, which is kind of a weird and silly image to imagine a Missing No with a little gnome hat on the top of it. Huh. Oy, I was such a weird and naive kid. But yeah, Missing No. Have fun duplicating items, living in Gen 1. Oh god, I just realized. We're going to be able to import Missing No, aren't we? Oh dear god! And that was my list for the top 10 Pokemon glitches, and I thank you all for watching. I know there's way more details about Missing No than I could go into, but really, just go to Bulbapedia. They'll have all the details you could ever ask for. But if there's other glitches that you felt should have been on this list, or just other glitches that you want to talk about in general, or if you can relate to my weird Phantom save file story, then let me know in the comments down below, because as always, I love knowing what you guys think. But until then, guys, I'm Silver August, bringing you top 10s, Wi-Fi battles, Pixar in review, Let's Plays, and all the other good stuff that we have going on the Silver League networks. And once again, a special thank you and a big shout out to Dragon Arbok for providing all of the footage of at least the Gen 1 and Gen 2 glitches that we had to display throughout this video. And also showcasing the weird glitches that she has in her own party and how by some miracle it's not freezing her game. I know that she was safe, but be careful out there. Have fun glitching, but try not to kill your save file in the process. Ah well, See you next time, guys!